All right, good morning, everybody. Jason Moss here from Allied Communications, here with Stefania, John, and Brian.
Morning.
Hey guys.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. And for this week's episode of Allied's 10-Minute Talks, we're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft Teams. So in other words, we're kind of a little bit like everybody else talking about it, right? So today...
All Teams all the time.
Yeah, Teams all the time.
So definitely a solution that's catching on, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's gaining a popularity. I'm seeing tons of commercials. It's stocks up. Everything's really headed well in their direction. But, today we're going to discuss a little bit about how, Stefania and I are using it internally and how it's really been helping our team. John's going to discuss a little bit about licensing and how it's working in his world. And then Brian's going to discuss a little bit about some integrations and how it's working for him. So, John, you want to give us a little overview of Teams and how it's working?
Yeah, I mean, Teams is, I know I've had a few discussions with some clients in the past few weeks, and a lot of people don't know what Teams is capable of. I mean, it's, of course, a tool that's included in your Microsoft licensing, and a lot of people use it just like internal chat and whatnot, right? But there's a lot more to it, and it's not really expensive licensing to add on. I mean, just to talk about the audio conferencing portion of it, extra $4 a month gives you audio conferencing for up to 250 people. And even if you don't have that audio conferencing license, you can invite anyone to a web conference, kind of like a Zoom meeting, and it's included with your licensing. And also, if you didn't know, you can use Microsoft Teams as a full UCaaS solution. Again, another little add-on licensing. And the cool thing about Microsoft is that they opened up direct routing right to Microsoft Teams. So you have providers that can pretty much just put their PBX solution on the back end of Microsoft Teams. And whatever Microsoft Teams can't do, they're feeding it lines and other aspects of UCaaS that Microsoft just doesn't have, kind of like call recording and advanced IVRs. And that's just a little bit of what Teams can do on a day-to-day to help external users, connect to and collaborate with everybody else. And Brian, how are you using it on the VCR toolbox side?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We were, we were using Slack for a while, and we were really just using it like a chat tool, like we were talking about. And then earlier, actually towards the tail end of last year, we started developing a consulting program. And to support that consulting program, I needed a central spot for clients. So, being that I cater to the IT industry, almost everybody had access and was building Teams into their environment anyway. So it just seemed like a natural fit. So we abandoned Slack, moved over to Teams, and it really became an amazing tool. So in the initial phases of it, we were using for this program, we had Trello, and we had Zoom, of course, for our video conferencing, and just a number of different tools. We were integrating certain elements of our website so you can get to our university, things like that within our programs. And I was able to bring that all into Teams, so it was great. I could integrate Trello into it. I was able to integrate, my Zoom into it, so I could launch my meetings from right within Teams. But then I started really rolling up my sleeves and finding some of the additional power inside of Teams. So one thing that I was able to eliminate, which just got rid of clicks for our customers, was getting rid of Trello. While it's an aesthetically pleasing and fantastic board, I was able to leverage Microsoft Planner, which also comes free with your Office 365 license, and basically build out our weekly agendas, what our homework is, what our milestones we were tracking to right there in a single board. So that was awesome. But the point here is you could integrate a Trello, but you can also go Teams, direct with some of the other applications inside of Microsoft. I record the video the sessions for our customers as well, so they could become long-term training materials for them. So I'm able to record my sessions, download them, and then I can connect I use Cloud app for my videos. I can actually integrate those links into my Teams as a website, but you also have Microsoft Stream that you can use inside of Teams for videos. The only negative I find with Streams is you have to be part of that team to be able to see the stream. So thus I've elected to keep my my public-facing side of it out, or the more accessible side for my clients. But what's really cool in Teams is the fact that I can invite these external customers in with control. So they become part of your Azure Active Directory that's part of Teams. You invite them as an external guest. Thus, you're allowing them just to that private team they're involved in. And then I'm able to manage the 15 or 20 customers I've got running concurrently at any given time from this single playing field. I've got other integrations I'm able to bring in if I'm interfacing with their subjects. There's really almost 200 applications you can interface with. All the big ones like, Monday for project management, Trello, Teams. They've got some of the marketing tools that have integrations into it. It's just amazing what you can do with this one single platform. And again, most of us already have it because we have Office 365. That's the coolest part. It costs nothing.
And it's not even just about the external integrations, right? You're Microsoft 100%. You have Teams. You're already integrated with your Outlook calendar. You're integrated with Presence. Everything's integrated. I mean, voice and email.
Directory for security and user management.
Anything that's already Microsoft based, you're integrated. There's no extra step to take. It's there.
And of course, having an app with it is also a great capability as well. So now when you're on the go, you can still get your chat sessions. You can still get your other pieces. And obviously in a work and home environment like we have today, that's critical.
Yes, yeah, Stefania, we were just talking about that yesterday. What did I show you that we figured out?
Well, that you can actually send pictures that are on your phone right into the chat on Teams, which is great. So then we're able to send them and just get them right on our computer, phone. But yeah, we've been mostly using the chat feature to kind of keep everyone in the loop. With a lot of people working remote right now, we created some teams, a marketing team, sales teams. These were all things that we had in place before, but we've definitely been using, especially the chat feature, just to stay connected.
Yeah, definitely. And, that's how Stefania and I and everybody else internally has been communicating too, is through the chat, because, especially for the last 3 months, I'm sure that you guys can agree, everybody's experiencing a lot of email fatigue, right? People are getting emails nonstop to keep up communication. So it's kind of nice to use the chat feature and actually see a nice chat from somebody that you actually know, right, pop up on your screen and be able to communicate with them. And, from a marketing standpoint, it really helps my workflow, because Brian, as you were saying, with the planning and organizing everything, when I made graphics, when we were editing, case studies or creating posts, we're all able to keep track and to archive things once they've been completed. And between the chat feature and all of the integrations, it just really made it easier than ever to stay connected, especially this whole work from home strategy. And it's really made things easier than ever. I've seen a huge improvement in all of our workflows just by using it.
The other thing it does too is, from a security standpoint, is it really allows us to avoid text messaging as the primary way to communicate our business dealings, right? So we always talk about, from a security event, we want to keep as much information self-contained. Yet, John, I'm sure for the last 3-4 years before we had Teams, the only way you're communicating with your engineers in the field and taking pictures was via text message for that real time,
absolutely.
right? Mm-hmm. So now you can, now with the discovery you guys made this week, now your guys can put their pictures from the field, but more importantly, you can have those chats with them right through Teams. You can keep the logs of those chats so you can refer back to them. And they're also available for other people in the team that you might need to step in and start doing some of that work internally too, John. So
yeah, I mean, even just
it's gonna be huge for the service team.
Exactly. And again, it's all internal, right? We're already using it internally. So I know we did like a FaceTime, but it's through Teams, right? We were able to, my tech was able to show me what he was looking at, so I can kind of give him in hand and what my ideas were at that point in time. But again, it's a great collaboration tool. It's all included in your licensing. Start using it. See what else you could do with it. I mean, we're using it every day. We're finding more and more things that we find useful.
Well, we're getting near the end of our time together. So, I guess I would say everybody go around and say their one favorite thing about Teams, and we can close it with that.
Okay. I guess I'll start because mine's pretty simple. I love the easy communication and the fact that when I need to get something across or, an update on the project, that it's instantaneous and I'm not really worried about the hours that go by with the email. So definitely the speed and efficiency for me.
Yeah, I would say that my favorite thing is probably that I'm getting notifications on multiple devices. So it was great working from home that I would get notified on my phone, on my watch, if I walked away, if it was someone internal and I wanted to get back to them right away.
Absolutely. Definitely my favorite part is I'd say it's between calling and the meeting, right? But, importantly, the screen sharing aspect of it as well.
And for me, it's definitely just being able to put web links into your team session so you can really bring almost anything that's web enabled into that platform.
Yeah, definitely all great stuff.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And thanks, Stefania and John and Brian, once again, for getting together and joining us. Everybody, Have a great weekend and enjoy the holiday.
See you next.